Hi, class. This is Professor Lainey. I'm going to take a few minutes here to go over the Lifeline project. This is our summative assessment for Child Development 107. This is how we know that you've connected to the material in so much that you can you could identify the development from, prenatal development to 18 in your life. I'm really excited about this because, again, the book is the book, and that's great. Check, check, check. We got it. We read it. We did the quizzes. We did all the business. But now we need to know that it's actually connecting to you. And I do like to roll this out during middle childhood, so you have time to work on it before finals week. I mean, we have 2 units left, which is 6 weeks. But at the same time, you don't want to bunch it all up at the end. And when middle childhood rolls around is when you guys finally start really, really, really remembering what it was like to be a kid and connecting to, your sports and your friends and what you really liked, maybe around the 6th grade or like 10 years old. You guys are, oh yeah, I remember that. And then the last unit is teenage years, which is great because you guys remember that too. But the middle child is where I roll this out because you can start making those connections and start with this week. With this project, and then you can work backwards and forwards at the same time, which is really nice. So the overview of this project is that you are creating a PowerPoint presentation with 1 slide per chapter. I do give you a template, a blank template for PowerPoint. You may use anything. It doesn't have to be PowerPoint. You can use Google Slides, Prezi, Powtoon, anything like that. But for those of you who aren't sure, you can still use Office 365, and that's where PowerPoint is. We're not asking you to do anything that's too hard or inaccessible or you have to pay money for, not at all. And by the way, my son is 14 now, and in the 1st grade, he had to do a PowerPoint presentation. So if you're like, oh, I'm never going to have to use this in my life or career, yeah, you will, or your kids will. So we're going to learn it now. All right, so again, we here are measuring our student learning outcomes here. And so we are looking at this particular assignment to talk about this development of children. And then in the second follow-up piece to this, which is an essay, you will add this cultural, economic, political, and historical context to your development. So let me walk you through it. This is theory to practice. Again, this is the pieces where you've learned it in the book, but now you get to actually put it together as it pertains to your life. Consider this kind of like a collegiate scrapbook in a way, right? Because yeah, you could put your own pictures in it. So I made you this right here. Click this, download it. It is a template right here. Slides, it's blank. It has a title for each one of these. I updated it to match our new book. And yeah, just start going for it. So again, if I'm rolling this out in middle childhood, it's going to look like, I think let me see. Oh, I thought I updated this. Sorry. So middle childhood starts at chapter 10. I'll update this list. And I did update the template, but I'll double check. And then on each slide, you have to pick 3 terms from the chapter that applied to you in your life. Don't define them just like the book does. Give me how that term looked like in your life. I don't need a bunch of terms thrown at me that I've already read, that I've already been doing for years and years. I need to know how this term works in your life. So if you are talking about gross motor development and you were a little bit delayed, you're going to say, I was a little bit delayed in my gross motor development because I didn't walk until 16 months, which is a little bit delayed, but it's not a big deal, right? Same thing with fine motor skills. You could say, I got into a car accident, and so I had to relearn my fine motor skills, like holding a pencil, things like that. So, again, share with what you're comfortable sharing. You don't have to pour your heart out here, but I do need to see that you have connected to the materials. Make it fun. Choose your colors. Put pictures in. If you don't have pictures from your life, use pictures from the internet, but make sure you cite those sources, right? Don't just like rip off a bunch of pictures from the internet. If you do, you have to say picture by this author kind of situation. Yeah, we're in college now. We can't just be like stealing people's information and not giving them credit, right? I will give you maybe a citation generator or an attribution generator so you guys can do that. Again, each slide will have 3 definitions and clip art, but here's the click. You guys need to, in the description part, start writing like you would be presenting this. Yeah, like you're going to write 5 to 10 sentences in the bottom. right? If you don't use PowerPoint, that's fine. You're still going to create an essay based on all these little descriptions, right? So your descriptions tell the reader or the viewer what is on the slide and why. And then at the end, you're going to pull all these descriptions from your slides and put them into one essay. If you put the descriptions in the slides, your essay is kind of already done. What? Yeah. And that's the second assignment, and I'll show you to this right after. Again, if I can't access it, I can't grade it. I've had people send me weird file names like HERIC and stuff. I can't open it. I can't grade it. That means you get a 0. You don't want that. This is 50 points. This is as much as an exam, right? I also gave you some suggestions here from Slides Carnival or Slides Go. I use those a lot. They're really great, really colorful. But again, they ask for attributions. They say like, hey, leave our information on the back slide so they know it came from us. You can use Prezi, Powtoon. You can, however you want to do it. And then, yeah, again, the bigger picture here is getting all one slide per chapter. And so I'll make sure that those, yeah, these don't line up exactly, but I'll figure that out. I'll update that like now. And then again, when you submit that, it's not due until the end of the term. So, but I'm giving it to you now so you have weeks and weeks and weeks to work on it. And then you can ask me questions too. So the next piece of it is the essay, where you're going to take all your slide descriptions and you're going to put them into a paper. The second part of the paper is that you have to answer this. Number one, like this is how you develop. These are all your descriptions of your slides, right? Number 2, how your development was shaped by economics. This is part of that student learning objective. Your politics, and maybe you didn't have politics as a kid, but your parents did. Did they settle in one place because of the politics, right? Did they move to a certain place because of the politics? Did they argue about politics? Did they get divorced over politics? Yeah, right. And again, it could be, politics could mean policy too. Immigration or community, like we moved to this community because it has this politics, or it felt this way and it was inclusive and multicultural and things like that. And then the history. What happened in terms during your lifetime, what happened historically? I was a married woman when 9/11 hit. It was weird, right? But for some of you, it was like you were little or you weren't even born, but there's different things that's happened in your lifetime, and that has affected how you developed, right? The conversations in your family, or COVID's a big one, how you weren't allowed to leave the house for months and months and months. So things like that, make sure that you put those lenses or dimensions on your development, because that has a big piece of it. So again, this is a 50-point paper. Get as detailed as you can. And I'm looking for APA style, at least 20 paragraphs. If there's 1 paragraph per slide, at least 20 paragraphs. But paragraphs can be 5 to 10, so don't freak out, but get it going now, so you're not stressed out during finals week. And again, I will make sure that there's a rubric on there and an APA formatting link. But again, it's 1-inch margins, 12-point font, double spaced, no cover page needed, no running head. The newest APA does not require any of that business. So again, let's get it going now, so you have questions and we can wrap those questions up as we go forward. So super excited about that. And again, if you have any questions as this rolls out, message me in the Canvas inbox and I will get to you as soon as I can. All right, see you soon.